Now, shares in the social media company Facebook have slumped more than 8% this Monday over revelations of a data breach. A consultancy firm that worked on Donald Trump's election campaign had access to details of more than 50 million users. Well, Facebook has since suspended the firm, Cambridge Analytica, but that hasn't stopped lawmakers in the US and Europe for calling for a thorough investigation. Well, to talk more about that, I'm joined by Paul Bernal. He's a lecturer in information technology, intellectual property and media law at the UEA School of Law. Thank you for being with us tonight. First of all, explain to us, if you will, what exactly Cambridge Analytica is accused of and how that is a breach of people's privacy and, as some has even described it, a threat to democracy.
Yeah, it's quite complicated in some ways, but in other ways it's very simple. And calling it a data breach is really missing the point. What they have done is seen an opportunity, basically seen how Facebook works, and gone in there and taken it. Effectively, they have used Facebook's systems for analyzing data to look at people's profiles, but also to look at patterns, what they believe, what they like, and so on, and then use that effectively to target those people with, whether it be advertising or sharing messages or anything. We don't even know the details of exactly what they did, except that they got the data, they used the data, and they used it in manipulative ways. And I think the key point to understand here is that this isn't some kind of out of the blue abuse of Facebook. This is actually using Facebook in some ways as Facebook was intended to be used. It profiles people, it analyzes them, and it allows you to target advertisements, news, and documents to them in accordance with what the profile says about them. Now, we don't mind that when it's about advertising, but we should we should get a little bit more interested. But when we realize that that's actually about politics, they're able to manipulate how we view things politically, just as they are able to manipulate what products we want to buy and so on.
Well, quite. But I mean, morally, it's certainly very dubious. But legally, have they actually done anything wrong? Because, as you say, people voluntarily put that information out there. People weren't hacked. They didn't have their phones tapped or their emails hacked or anything like that. This is information that was put on a website voluntarily.
Yes, it is. And this is where things are going to get interesting. And we know that the Information Commissioner in the UK is going to be going into Cambridge Analytica's offices tomorrow to have a look. It's more complicated than that, because when people put the information up there, they have a certain expectation as to how that information is going to be used. What they don't have is understanding of quite how extremely that information is going to be used and to what extent it's going to be used to profile them and to get further information. And because Facebook has so much data, they're able to derive information about us from simple, mundane, ordinary facts that we wouldn't imagine. They can work out things like religion, political views, and so on, sexuality, and so on, from what products we like. I mean, in using the Facebook term, like, and so on. And they know who our friends are. They know what we're influenced by, what we like, and so on. And they can use all of that information to target stuff at us. And there, you might say it's our own fault for putting the information out there. But if we don't understand how it's going to be used and what the implications are, then they don't really have our consent for that information, and things start to get more complicated. And with new data protection laws coming in, really any minute now, we have the reform of the data protection regime coming into force in May. This sort of thing starts to get much more serious. Facebook is in trouble here primarily because they've let the data, their data, be used in ways that people wouldn't expect. And as you say, we don't expect this sort of stuff to happen to us. So when we give them our data, which we do, we are effectively being manipulated beyond our control.
Just briefly, because we're running out of time, but I mean, people are certainly more aware of where that data goes now than they were a week ago. This is the latest in a series of scandals to hit the company. There's also the propagation of fake news. There's the extremism. There's the constant concerns about privacy. Would you say Facebook's days are numbered?
Well, I've been trying to campaign to get people to leave Facebook for about 6 years for many of these reasons. it's a big and very powerful organization, and there are many attractive things about it. I wouldn't say its days are over, but I would like to think this might be a tipping point where things start to change.
Paul Bernal at the University of East Anglia, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.